Hello and welcome to the 2026 Business Book Awards, Practical Inspiration Finalists, LinkedIn Lives. I've got to get a snappier phrase for that, but there we are. That's what's going on. I'm talking to every single one of the 16 Practical Inspiration titles authors to find out why they wrote their book and how they reacted when they found out they'd won and all that kind of really, really good stuff. So I am starting off brilliantly with Steve Radford, and he's the author of How to Sell, which is a cracking title. We might talk about that actually. Everything you need to think, know, and do to have greater sales conversations. So thanks for kicking us off, Steve. And let me start by saying congratulations.
Thank you.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah, it is. Very good.
So tell us why you wrote your book.
Okay. I think there's three reasons why I wrote it. First off, when I first started out in sales 25 years ago, this is the book that I wish I had then. Whilst I love to learn and there were lots of great books out there, there wasn't really one book that covered everything you needed to know. So I kind of wrote it from that perspective. It's also the book that I wanted my teams to read when I became a sales leader. Whilst obviously I could impart some of my knowledge, I ran teams that ran into hundreds of salespeople. And so having kind of a handbook that sat behind everything that they did, all the conversations they had with their customers, so they could learn from each other more effectively as well. So that's the kind of second reason. And the third reason is, since I left being an actual sales leader, I focused mainly on learning and development for salespeople and developed some programs for big companies, as well as publicly available programs like the Sales Executive Apprenticeship Program. Problem with those kind of programs is that you either got to be lucky enough to work for one of the companies involved, or even the publicly available programs require a significant level of commitment, either in terms of time or in terms of investment. And so what I wanted to do with this book is to provide access to my training that was a lot more accessible than most people are able to achieve.
And that's what a book does brilliantly, isn't it? It gives you scale, it gives you reach. People who've never heard of you before can. I love that second reason, though. It's basically to avoid having the conversation. Like, read this, go away, read this, and you don't have to have the same conversation 900 times.
Well, it allows you to flip the classroom, because rather than just using your face-to-face time to deliver information, if they've already got the background information, you can then spend time contextualizing it and personalizing it, which to me is what the face-to-face bit should be all about.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And I think it's just worth visiting the title for a second, because when you said to me, I want to call it How to Sell, I was like, don't be ridiculous. There must be 1,800 books out there with that title. No, it's incredible.
No. Yeah, so I was surprised too.
But there's one now, it's brilliant. Good. Why does it matter, Steve? Why does this book matter, particularly in 2026?
I think if you go back to what I said back when I started in sales, most people still have the same experience. They generally fall into selling, and they often then learn by trial and error. So this book is designed to shorten that learning curve. And I think that's important because sales is one of the most important and transferable skills in business. So even if you're not in a sales role, you can still use sales techniques to sell an idea, which is something a lot of people do every day. So yeah, it's designed to give a practical roadmap that's built from experience. So regardless of what you're selling, you can become hopefully more effective, more quickly, and with fewer mistakes.
And it really matters, I think, when the customer's got all the information. The role of the salesperson really has changed, hasn't it? You make that point very strongly, and it is much more about that relational piece.
Oh, hugely so. And it's obviously, with the advent of AI, with AI, it's changing again. The salesperson's role is no longer to provide information. It's there to help diagnose and provide insight. And actually, I see sales that are based on relationships, that face-to-face element is becoming even more important than it ever was. Yeah.
I'm really sorry. I don't know what happened there.
I don't know. You disappeared on me. You froze and then disappeared.
Yeah, I think it was a connection issue. I'm going to hope that I can edit this, and we're just going to carry on and pretend that didn't happen. And this is why we do nothing live, by the way.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
Good. So I think we'd finished off that piece. I hope we'd finished off that piece about the relational thing, the AI. So I'm going to go to the last question. Okay. And of course, I want to know, Steve, how did you react when you heard that you'd been shortlisted for the Business Book Awards?
Okay, so we were actually sat at the kitchen table having dinner at the time, and I'd got the live stream on in the background, and I was really shocked to see How to Sell up there, because to my mind, how-to books aren't usually the books that get shortlisted for major business awards. They tend to be books that are built on new research or big ideas, whereas How to Sell is deliberately practical. So yeah, surprised at first, but then after that wore off, I think, yeah, I'm genuinely delighted, still very much so. The Business Book Awards are judged by people who actually read the books, and I know sales and marketing is a very competitive category.
It really is.
There are lots, yes, but I know we've got other authors from Practical Inspiration in the category, and there are lots of great books out there. So being shortlisted alongside those felt like a real endorsement of the value that I hope it provides.
Yeah, well, I think that's exactly right. I think it is. Yeah, I hope we had a bottle of something chilling in the fridge just in case.
Maybe more than one.
And I'm very much looking forward to celebrating with you in person in September when we have the Business Book Awards Gala dinner. 3 tables full of practical inspiration authors. It's going to be absolutely amazing.
It's going to be a good night.
It's going to be a great night. Thanks for talking to us today, Steve. It's really brilliant to kick the series off with this. Thank you.
My pleasure.